potty. Police say the fireworks damaged the building, a trailer, and, of course, the porta potty. Arson is a second-degree felony. It was a police pursuit in which the cops were heavily...
One right lane passable at this hour. Heavy congestion is building in that area, so we're going to continue to keep an eye on that situation and keep you updated. We have another crash on the south side perimeter. It's on I-285 eastbound at Boulder Crest Road. At least two right lanes are blocked, causing heavy delays there, stretching back past I-675.
That the new Omicron variant appears to be spreading twice as quickly as the Delta variant, with case numbers there doubling every 3.5 days. It's not clear how this variant will affect the United States, which is now investigating.
Safe.
We cannot just live in fear, and we have to do what we have to do.
And some of that is changing. Starting December 6th, all international travelers coming to the U.S., including American citizens, will have to show a negative COVID test taken within 24 hours of departure. And the mask requirement that has sparked outrageous and dangerous behavior by a few is now extended through March 18th on all domestic flights and public transportation. Fines will now double for those who refuse to comply. But there is still no vaccine or testing requirement for those flying domestically. The White House is keeping its options open.
I would say that nothing is off the table. But we do have some protections, some strong protections in place already, including requirement of mask wearing.
United Airlines CEO Scott Kirby expects some financial turbulence from Omicron, but nothing as severe as the Delta variant.
It's going to certainly have a near-term impact on bookings. Bookings are going to be lower than they otherwise would have been. But, I think this will be 3 steps forward, 1 step back, whereas...
As the world waits for more information about Omicron...
Lining, saying the unemployment rate fell to 4.2%, inching ever closer to pre-pandemic levels.
Our economy is markedly stronger than it was a year ago. Even after accounting for rising prices, the typical American family has more money in their pockets than they did last year.
Analysts say the data reflects the reality that the pandemic is not over. And ongoing supply chain and labor issues could quickly send the economy back in the wrong direction. December is here, and that means a lot of trips to the store.
Because most of that oil still needs to be paid back in the future.
According to AAA, if gas prices do decrease, they aren't likely to do so until the end of 2022. So we can verify, no. The release of 50 million barrels of oil does not mean there will be a significant drop in gas prices.
Right? So it may be that you're right. I don't think Purdue wants to get in and lose. But he certainly sounds like he's looking for a way in if he can find one.
City of Atlanta has a new mayor as of this week. Andre Dickens winning over Felicia Moore, who was the city council president here and still is right now. And Mr. Dickens used an old quote after his win, says that Atlanta influences everything. What role do you think these big city mayors play in 2021 when you look at the political landscape nationwide?
Well, I look at it more of just how much mayors have been involved in all of our lives because of COVID in general. So I do think that all of mayors and governors in general have been a little bit more front and center in the face of voters, just simply because they've been on the front lines of either issuing mandates, rescinding mandates, asking for them, things like that. But I would say Atlanta's, look, I think the importance of Atlanta now, nationally to the Democratic Party, is right up there with your Philadelphias, your Chicagos, and New Yorks now. So in that sense, and I've seen this now, I would argue we've seen this with every success, the last 2 Atlanta mayors, is I think you're just going to, the national platform opportunity is only easier and growing for the mayor of Atlanta because of how important Atlanta and the Atlanta suburbs are to Democratic success now in the state of Georgia.
Meet the Press airs Sunday morning at 10 o'clock right here on 11 Alive. Chuck Thomas.
Purchased by James Crumley just last week. It was stored in an unlocked drawer.
Clearly, based on the statements of the shooter at 1:22 p.m., quote, "Ethan, don't do it," end quote.
4 students were killed, 7 students and a teacher wounded.
The notion that a parent could read those words and also know that their son had access to a deadly weapon that they gave him is unconscionable, and I think it's criminal. It is criminal.
The parents are scheduled to be arraigned today, but they are not in custody.
December is
observed making an illegal turn on his scooter, but when a deputy tried to pull him over, he hit the gas. Well, as much as anyone can hit the gas on a moped, and the deputy reported to dispatchers that was about 35 miles an hour. It's not your usual pursuit, they say.
You don't see a lot of mopeds on the road to begin with, and then you don't make a lot of traffic stops on mopeds, and they don't run. This is an unusual circumstance.
The sheriff's office at Williams continued the pursuit for several minutes, actually at one time at over 50 miles an hour, but with the deputy close behind at all times. When Williams slowed to make a left turn, or maybe went slower to make the left turn, the video shows he wiped out.
He crashed. Which one?
People on the ground in the wood line.
Police flooded this house on Morris Road in South Fulton Thursday night. They caught 3 of the suspects right off the bat, but the other 2 made a run for it.
They did flee the home into the wood line, and one was actually carrying a loaded weapon.
Police did end up catching up with them in the woods. What they say they found inside the house: 2 more guns, 4 pounds of weed, 14 grams of cocaine, nearly 90 oxycodone pills, more than 70 amphetamine pills, along with Xanax and promethazine.
The narcotics unit and gangs unit actually was investigating this home for the previous 3 months and gathered intel of illegal drug activity.
South Fulton police credit an observant neighbor who gave them a call when they noticed a lot of coming and going at the house. Police say they discovered it was a gang-run drug operation.
The citizens here in the city of South Fulton, they actually call and, give us tips about, activity that doesn't seem right.
This bust came just as South Fulton police announced another 10-day drug sting, resulting in 52 arrests.
Wherever there's narcotics, we know we're going to find the gang activity. If we focus and target on that, we can deter a lot of criminal activity that's going on around the city of South Fulton.
At last check, all 5 suspects were still behind bars on Friday night. Police tell me that at least one of them is facing federal charges. Bob DiRienzo, Fox 5 News.
Atlanta, someone had poured chemicals down a public drain. Police got enough evidence to execute a search warrant Wednesday at the apartment. Investigators say they confiscated a gun and even found equipment to forge documents.
There's mixed reaction to the November jobs report. Coming up here, the challenges economists say are still impacting the labor market.